I'm Charity McArdle. My artwork is behind me on the wall. So I was born in London and I studied in London, lived in London for 30 years of my life. And but I did find, having gone to college, I felt that to art college, I felt that all my art needed to be kind of meaningful and important. And when I left art college, I don't think I had that confidence to push through with my artwork without having that kind of scaffold of art school. And it really took another 20 years. So I trained to be an art teacher, and I came up to Scotland, had 3 children, had, you know, lots of things going on in my life. And it was really only in about 2015, I think, the social media, people posting work on their social media. And often I'd look at the work and think, well, it's not really that great, but they kept posting and they kept getting better and better with their work. And it was like a light bulb moment that if you practice, you get better at something, which is something you should learn really when you're about 11 or 12, but it took me a few years. So I think then, because of my background, I felt that portraiture was the way into making my art, and I had some very supportive people who volunteered to have their portraits done, and then some people started commissioning me. But I felt that was a good way in. And then I realized that actually what my work was, it didn't really matter what scaffold my work was on, whether it was portraiture or landscape or abstract. I was playing about with the similar themes, with, you know, the color to create mood and atmosphere, with gesture to create meaning, and that whatever that scaffold is, what you bring as an artist is going to come through. So then I started working with sort of more abstract landscapes or suggested landscapes. And again, a few people commissioned me, which pushed me in a particular direction in a way, because I was working with other people to show their vision. And I think that really did help push me through, because although maybe that painting might not have been where I would have gone with my art, but then I could pursue other themes along that, so it would push me into a theme. So I suppose in terms of the background, really, it took me a long time to realize that I could use what was around me, you know, and really sort of delve into Scottish landscapes and seascapes, and use the landscape to bring across kind of mood and atmosphere and space and light, often with a sort of ominous undertone or some kind of brooding threat, which seems to appear in a lot of my work. Well, if you'd asked me this time last year, I might have said no, but I had an amazing year last year. My work was shown somewhere virtually all year. And although I didn't get many sales, they started picking up sort of right at the end of the year. And I've had the most amazing January. I'm here, I've got my work here. I've sold 3 pieces since Christmas. I've got a commission on the go, and I've also just painted a 3D sheep for the Royal Highland Show. So you know, that was another commission. So it's all quite an exciting January. So definitely I feel, I mean, I'm working part-time, which gives me a few days a week to focus on my artwork. But it does take a lot of thinking time. You know, there's thinking time, there's marketing time, there's, you know, preparation time, and then there's the physical act of making the work. So to have a little more time on it would be fantastic. So yes, I would say I would consider it, most definitely. So I have learned a huge amount by being in Made in Stirling. So I was part of the Christmas show leading up, which meant I could be amongst so many other artists who are making a living or a partial living from art and design. And then, you know, being part of the team of volunteers as well helped me understand, you know, the process. It was amazing seeing how many people came through the door. I won't say I sold much, but I think I learned a lot by seeing the kind of business aspects of being in somewhere like Made in Stirling. Made in Stirling's tremendous for artists, because you are getting people coming in through the door. You're getting people coming in and looking at things and buying, you know, buying arts and crafts from real makers, and supporting those makers. And you're getting work at a hugely high standard as well. So it's very exciting to be part of this. Okay, well, I now have a studio. So the main thing is a studio in my garden. So the main thing is getting into the studio. I used to put on a pair of dungarees. I do find that cleaning up is quite important, you know, cleaning my brushes, organising my studio, making sure that I've got a clean space. Doesn't stay clean for very long, but that's part of it. But there's also a larger ritual of how my work works, if you like. So I always go through a phase of giving myself permission to make lots of rubbish, you know, do something that's a bit out of my comfort zone, create something that's a little bit different. And then I go to a much more rigorous place where I'm working from observation. I'm trying to get things quite focused in. And then I'll maybe work on a series where things will get looser and looser. And as they get looser, they get more sort of connected to me and what's, you know, kind of my soul in a way. And I would say certainly these two especially are ones that are at that end of the spectrum. The one behind me is probably more at the kind of beginning where I was working, you know, for a particular goal and working quite carefully from observation, even though that might not appear to be the case because of the big skies and the mood and atmosphere.